Hey guys, it's Harsh here, and today I'm going to be doing my Premier League predictions for 2016 to 2017 season. Some of them are quite controversial. It's just my opinion. Don't take it as it is, since they might not actually happen, and most likely won't happen. But in my opinion, doing some research and listening to the recent transfer news, these are my opinions on who is going to be relegated, who's going to be mid-table, who's going to win the league, who's going to make it to the Champions League, and who is going to go to the Europa League. Alright, let's get stuck into this. Starting it off in the relegation zone in 20th is Hull City. I believe they're going to get relegated because they only have 11 senior squad players fit and ready for the Premier League, and they have 7 to 6 days until the first Premier League game starts, and they're the first team to play against the winners last year, Leicester. So I don't see them having a very good season at all. And I don't think they even have a manager either. I believe who is managing them right now is Steve Bruce and Mike Phelan, who aren't actually their managers. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments if you know, but let's move on. And at 19th we have Sunderland. If you're a Sunderland fan, my opinion is you have David Moyes. He's an okay manager, to be honest. At Everton he was a lot better than he was at Man United. He has an obsession with Fellaini. I have no idea why, because I've heard that he wants to bring Fellaini also to Sunderland, as well as that Jan Žiak guy from Man United that he debuted when he was actually the manager. But I just don't think Moyes suits it. Sam Allardyce, who's now the England manager, used to manage Sunderland and got them out of the relegation zone last year. But David Moyes, I don't think he's the kind of manager. I don't think he's going to be able to get the defence up to where it needs to be in the Premier League, since it's such a physical game, I mean. And I don't think he's going to do very well at all. I think they're going to be the one who's going to get relegated. Next. At 18th spot is Swansea. I can't really pronounce this manager's name, but let me just look here. George Dolan? Anyway, that's his last name. I don't know his first name. I don't know how to pronounce it, so if I just butchered your name, sorry about that. Although their defence is okay, it's a bit shaky at the back, but they have Ashley Williams, who is controlling the back, and he may even be moving to Everton, I'm not quite sure, but he has been linked. And the only good player that can have influence that they had last season was Sigurdsson, who had a great Euros 2016 campaign. You've also got a few people like Montero and who else do they have? I have no idea. But I know they have Montero and Sigurdsson. I'm not sure who else could be influential, but that's just my prediction. I don't know too much about Swansea, so if I've just blown it out the water and I've just assumed that this is going to happen, it might not happen at all. They might even win the league. Who knows? Anything's possible since Leicester won the league. Anyway, moving on. Just above the relegation zone is AFC Bournemouth with their manager, Howie. Man, I'm not very good at their names right now, am I? I'm generally not too bad, but besides that, they haven't made too many signings. I know they've got some contract extensions for Max Gradel and another bloke, and they've just made 2 signings. I think it's Jordan Ibe and is it Adam Smith from Liverpool. Altogether 21 million pounds. I think Jordan Ibe 15 million. To see that they paid that much for Jordan Ibe, and they paid 15 million for Cristiano Ronaldo, which Man United did, I think, 14 years ago. It's just ridiculous. What do you get for that kind of price these days? Anyway, moving on. At 16th place, I highly rate Watford to be sitting there. Last season, halfway through, I think they lost their manager and they got replaced by Mazzari, the manager. Cool. I don't think Troy Deeney's going to be doing it by himself today. He needs a bit more help. And their midfield isn't that great. They had a good half season, and they might even be losing Ighalo, since China's really knocking on the door with their crazy amounts of money that Watford are just rejecting. 32 million. Are you serious? Why wouldn't you just sell him? He's not worth that much. Why wouldn't you just sell him right there? You're not going to get anything better. No one like Real Madrid's going to buy Ighalo. I don't understand, but if they don't take that money, how are they going to bolster their squad that they're going to compete with the other Premier League sides who are bolstering their squad? Mind you, Arsenal. I don't know about them. They like to get all the cheap ones, but we'll talk about that a bit later. Moving on. And at 15th place is West Brom, and their manager Tony Pulis hasn't made too many signings at all. And as history has shown, when you don't make signings, you will fall. Not necessarily falling like last season. I think they were in the same place, but they won't do very well at all. They may even get relegated. I'm not sure, but with their team, they could actually bolster their squad by selling Berahino, which they're probably going to do, since he is asking to leave. And why would you keep someone that is asking to leave? They won't perform as well as they would if they want to stay. But in their squad, they have Johnny Evans, and I don't know why Arsene Wenger is going after him. But, he has some experience at Man United winning the league. Is that what he's trying to get at? Someone who's won the league, let's get him in, and we'll try. Anyway, besides that, I reckon West Brom are going to finish 15th. At 14th place is Crystal Palace. They had a pretty rough second half of their season. They were not too bad at the beginning, and then they started falling down quite a lot. I'm surprised Pardew didn't get sacked, to be honest. I would definitely sack someone when they're going that bad in the second half. Well, even at the beginning of, like the last end of the first half of the season, they started dropping. But with their new signings of like Steve Mandanda, I was so shocked to hear that. Steve Mandanda played for Marseille and he was doing very well. How old is he now? Like 32? And he's a really good goalkeeper. Pretty big, very strong. I believe that it's going to be a great replacement to the previous one, which I don't even know his name anymore. But I reckon they're going to have an okay season. Still finishing like at the bottom, not getting relegated, but still finishing there, and they'll slowly develop their way up. In 13th, it's a bit of a shocker, and it's going to be Southampton, in my opinion. Their new manager, Claude Puel, I'm sorry if I butchered that name, it's French, I think. They've made a few good signings, but they've also lost their previous manager, who has been very solid for them consistently, Ronald Koeman, who's now gone to Everton. We'll speak about that a bit later. But he's made signings of Stephen Redmond, that Højbjerg guy, I'm not even going to pronounce his first name, and they're the big ones that have come from like okay clubs. Like Norwich is Stephen Redmond, they're alright. Bayern is where Højbjerg came from. I don't know what happened there. He may have had a really bad spell there. I think he went on loan for a few years there, but it's now being sick and tired of going on loan. He's permanently moved to Southampton, and I don't really see them having a great season at all. They've lost their manager, who's kept them up and has done a lot with them, who almost got into the Champions League, I think, a few years ago. But I don't see this Puel guy doing very well. Mark my words, if he wins the league like Claudio Ranieri, I probably butchered that again, Ranieri, and he wins the league, I'll look like a total idiot, but that's just my assumption. This is all about assuming. Let's see if it pays out, who knows. But I don't see them having a very good season, because their players are okay. They've just lost Sadio Mane. They have just got a new contract with Shane Long. They've also lost like Gaston Ramirez. Ronald Koeman didn't really have a great deal with him, but Puel has actually sent him off permanently. I think it was him. But there we go. That's my prediction. I don't think Southampton are going to have a very good season. Let's get on to the next one. At 12th is Burnley. Their manager's Dyke. Probably butchered that name also. But even though they won the championship, I don't see them doing that great, like winning the Premier League, let's just say. They did win the championship, so I don't think they're going to get relegated straight away. They've made a few good signings, like decent signings, not very extreme signings. But I can see them going around 12th or even like a little bit lower, but mid-table team is what I reckon their quality is going to be. And let's get on to the next. At the 11th spot is Middlesbrough. Love their manager's last name, Karanka. I probably said that also wrong. I'm sorry about this. I'm just not very good at the managers' names. I'm usually good with the names I said previously, but we're not going to get onto that. Middlesbrough have been really good in the transfer window. They've been firing out their transfers like madness. They've just signed Alvaro Negredo. Well, I say just, they did like a few weeks ago. They've got their new goalie, Victor Valdez. They've got a lot of quality players with like a lot of experience. I can't see Negredo getting top scorer, but he's very experienced. His Man City time was okay. He scored 24 goals in something amount of games, I think. But I can see them being another mid-table team. They're not going to win the Premier League. They've just been promoted. Even though I tipped them to win the championship, they just got beaten by Burnley in the end. But anyway, I can see them being pretty solid in this season. On to 10th is Stoke. Here's a team that I love to use in career mode, and it can help me out with like describing the way that I watch Stoke. I love Shaqiri. Shaqiri's a very good player. He's a very selfish player. As I've seen when I've watched Stoke play, I watched a lot of Stoke games last season. Shaqiri gets really angry when they don't pass him the ball. But I also love Arnautovic. He had a great season. He just loves bullying defenders to score. I can see him being okay team. I can see him finishing higher than what I put them at is 10th. But Mark Hughes needs to get a bit more on the defensive side, since I did see, what's his face, Cameron, the American, fall over a bit, and he was a bit shaky at the back. But I think he was playing at CDM role, but he wasn't that great. But the rest of the defence isn't bad at all. They just need to get a few more good defenders. They have Shawcross. I don't see him staying there for too long. I can see him leaving in January. That's just my opinion. I'm just guessing right now, but I can see him leaving. I don't think he's having a very good time. But that's just my opinion. Bojan is also great. He can play in the midfield, and he can play at centre forward, nearly striker. You can trust him in a lot of positions up front and a little bit deeper like back. And 10th is where I'm going to put Stoke, even though I believe they can finish higher. 9th is a bit of a shocker, West Ham. Bilic, the manager, said that wrong again, I believe. I love West Ham, even though they destroyed Arsenal. They didn't beat them, they destroyed Arsenal in playing their kind of football. A very attacking football, like crazy fast movements. Even though Andy Carroll might look like a horse, he can score some great goals. I think he got a perfect hat-trick on the second game he played against Arsenal. I'm relating back to Arsenal because they're the team I watch and support, so I know a lot more about them. But I can see Payet having a great season. I can see Andy Carroll having another great season. What's that guy's? Lanzini has been really solid. Didn't he score a wonder goal last season? I think he did. But I can see their midfield doing very well. Mark Noble, solid. Antonio, solid. He can play at the fullback positions and get on attacking. People believed he should get in the England squad. I'm not sure. I don't really follow them very much. But I just know West Ham are going to be a threat. But I can see them not doing as well as they did last season. But they did just buy Andre Ayew. I may be referring to the wrong Ayew, but if I am, just leave a comment down below and I'll correct it next time I make one of these videos. But they just made that signing for £20 million, and I reckon he'll be okay. He did well for Swansea, but I can see Andy Carroll getting most of the goals. Let's move on. At 8th is the champions, is Leicester. Ranieri. I can see them just sticking, not getting relegated. They're not going to win the league again, I don't think. People saying, oh, they're going to do it, they're going to do it, they're going to do it. People have had so much time to analyse the way they play now. They're not going to be as good as they were. Their counter-attacking thing, everyone's going to be looking out for it, seriously. And Kante is gone to Chelsea. They've just lost a massive midfield engine who's just always around. He has a mindset of wanting that ball, and he will not stop until he gets it. No one else really did that. Inler was a really disappointment, even though my brother will disagree. He's a great player on FIFA. Inler was a very big disappointment. Vardy, he's staying. He's not going to Arsenal. Mahrez, I can see staying. I don't necessarily want him to go to Arsenal. I think we've got enough wingers that we can use, like Joel Campbell. We'll get onto that later. But I can see them just sticking. They're not going to have a crazy season, a wondrous season, in my opinion. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I haven't gone to the future. But I don't see them winning it again or getting back into the top 5. Right, let's move on. At 7th, we have highly rated, in my opinion, Everton. I only put them there because I believe Ronald Koeman is their guy. He's their manager that can take them to where they want to be. They've made a few okay signings, I believe. Stecklenburg, not sure about him. He played for Fulham. I think, and Southampton, so he has that little bit of connection, it also being Dutch. They've made Gayu from Aston Villa, and I don't know too much about him. I believe he's solid, he's quite strong. I can see them having a decent season, maybe even pushing into the Europa League status, but my prediction is at 7th place. At 6, a bit biased, I don't think so. I reckon this will happen. I can put my word onto this happening. Spurs. Manager Pochettino, I think I've probably got that. He's a great manager. I think his dream is to be PSG manager, but that's just got out the books with Sevilla's manager just taking over it. So he might have to stick with Spurs. His morale may be down. This is all speculation. This isn't true, but his morale may be a bit down. He's like, oh no, I've got to manage a Spurs again and not go to PSG. But he's a great manager. He almost won the league last season. Thankfully, Arsenal beat Spurs by 1 point. Suck it. Let's just say that. Anyway, they've made great signings of Janssen. I can see him doing good. He's a Dutch striker. They've also got Wanyama. He was awesome at Southampton. I love his tweets. They're really funny. If you want to have a look at them, just type in Wanyama tweets. But that's beside the topic. I can see them doing a 6th position, not making it into the Champions League or the 5th position to get into Europa. Let's move on again. Bit of a controversial one for the 5th place is going to be Liverpool. Their manager being Jurgen Klopp. I know that. I know how to pronounce that. But I highly rate Liverpool this season. They did just recently beat Barcelona 4-0. That's pretty good. That's getting all these Liverpool fans hyped up for the next season. Is it our time? I guess that's what Arsenal fans are coming into these days. All about their previous winnings, since we can't win a title yet. I hope soon. Anyway, they've made some good signings. Mane being the main one I want to talk about. Was a great player for Southampton. He was their main man to score goals. He would destroy defences with his pace and his great dribbling. He can play in the striker position. He can go on the wings. That's just all you want in a striker. I also highly rate Divock Origi. They have a great strikers in this team. Benteke, I don't know. I think he should have just stayed at Aston Villa, to be honest. Even though he had a great season with Aston Villa, saying great for where he was at Aston Villa. He then moved to Liverpool and history was made there, scored a bicycle kick, didn't really perform. But they need to get Daniel Sturridge running again. He's always injured. He's a quality player. You saw at the Euros, he can do those last-ditch efforts against Wales in the 90th minute to get them top of the table. But he can do this stuff. They just got to make sure he stays fit. I know when you get injured in an area, it's much easier to get injured back in that area. But who knows? I really want him to do well, even though I'm not a Liverpool supporter. I just like their manager, which gives me a bit of a soft spot for Liverpool. But I think they should sell Lallana. He's not that great. He's very inconsistent. And I think they should turn the captaincy from Henderson to Milner. Not even saying anything. I love Milner for no reason. I just like the way he plays. How can someone with the most similar stats to Pogba go on a free transfer to Liverpool? Meanwhile, people are going, Man United, Pogba, I'll pay 120 million for you. Anyway, that's my opinion. Let's move on. Here's the top 4 for the people who are going into the Champions League. You'll know the top 4. I haven't put any of the smaller teams, but mostly the bigger teams. So let's start off with 4th. It's not actually Arsenal, it's Man City. Man City have got their new manager, Pep Guardiola, who has been marked as one of the greatest managers. I don't see him adapting to the Premier League very well, since he has only managed in 2 other leagues, being the Spanish League and the Germany League. What competition is in those leagues? You tell me. In Spanish League, you got Barcelona, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, and Villarreal and Valencia. They're, in my opinion, the best teams in La Liga. Let's go to Germany also. Bayern, Wolfsburg, Dortmund, Schalke, Bayer Leverkusen. 5 teams in 20 for both of those. Anyway, in Barclays Premier League, who can win the Premier League? We don't know. It can be anyone, as proven last year. Leicester won the league for 5,000 to 1 odds. I just don't don't see Pep Guardiola adapting to the physicality, since his new signings aren't that strong, but they're very technical and fast. Like Sane just moved for £37 million. Gundogan moved, I don't know how much, but he just moved too, and he's a great player. They have loads of proven players like Aguero, who's definitely going to score like over 15 goals this season, guaranteed, because it's Aguero. He does it every season consecutively. But let's move on. At third place is going to be Arsenal. In my opinion, Wenger has always been controversial in the transfer window for not spending big. It has paid off in the past, but right now we need a proven striker. We need Lacazette, alright? We need Lacazette. If we don't sign Lacazette, I don't see us doing great in the league. I don't see us winning it. We can be top 4 quality all the time. He's done it for 20 years consecutively. But we need to win the league. Seriously, what is wrong with our club? Is it the manager? Is it the board? What is going on? Is it the players? The players are all quality, top class that other teams would want. What is going on? I don't understand the way. The way we play is good. I believe it's the board of directors. Are the board even giving him money, for God's sake? Is the board even rich? Is the board even going to help Arsene Wenger to win the league? Because he always seems to be on a budget of £15 million every season. Except for when he signed Granit Xhaka. Did they finally accumulate enough money? Every 20 odd years you get this big amount of money, you know, you go on, spend someone. Hurry up. Like seriously, what are we doing? Oh man, I get so frustrated because we need to sign someone. Meanwhile, I'm looking, Man United is signing crazy good players. Arsenal, oh yeah, we got this Asian guy, not even being racist, Asian guy from random place in Japanese league. Never heard of him. We got Rob Holding from Bolton. I've never heard of him. He's 20. He has some potential. I'm not sure. He has scored a goal, but it's pre-season at the end of the day. We have Granit Xhaka, who's proved in the Bundesliga, playing for Borussia Mönchengladbach. I've probably destroyed that also. But he's not bad at all. He had a decent, Euro 2016 season, but he could have done better. But I'm looking forward to Granit Xhaka. But I don't know about the other two signings. We need a striker. Yeah, he said, let's get a striker. Let's grab this guy. He's cheap. But I just don't see us winning the league this season. To be honest, like, we're never going to win it, are we? Are we always going to be finishing top 4 and just, say, yeah, that's where we're going to be? We're never going to win again, even though we've won it, twice or 3 times? Oh, man. It's just so frustrating. Anyway, moving on. At second place is Chelsea. Antonio Conte is the manager and he is known for his tactics. And Chelsea are also known for their tactics, proven from when they've had other managers. He's made 2 good signings, Michy Batshuayi and N'Golo Kante. N'Golo Kante, proven in the Premier League after his first season. Batshuayi, I don't know about him. He comes from League One. I'm always speculating on League One strikers if they've just come from there, like Andre Lacazette. He's a good player in League One. Where there's competition in that, there's only one team that's always won it, PSG. Why not? They're rich. They can do whatever they want. They can't win Champions League, so let's just put that out there. But I don't see Michy Batshuayi doing crazy good, but he will still be decent. He's still young. He has loads of potential. But I can see Chelsea getting up in the 4th again, where they belong. It sounds a bit weird when I'm an Arsenal supporter saying that they belong in the top 4 when proven they are. But I shouldn't be saying it. I want them to fail. But they belong in the top 4, not 10th place last season. They've got a great manager. I don't know why they sacked Jose, but Jose is now Man United's manager. We'll get onto that in a minute. But I can see them having a very decent season since they have a great manager with great tactics, good new players, great atmosphere, fans that really want to see Chelsea go back to normal. They're hoping Hazard comes back because he you don't want him falling out and failing. You don't want to see anyone fail, but that's just in my opinion. Let's move on. Now on to the winners, presumed by me, of the Barclays Premier League, and it is Manchester United. A lot of people have said this. You can't get your head around it. Jose Mourinho is their manager, proven in the BPL. has won it with Chelsea twice or 3 times. I'm not sure. I'm not very good on the histories, but proven he's made great signings. Free, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Henrik Mkhitaryan, and also Eric Bailly from Villarreal, a great young signing, even though people are quite speculative on him. He looks great in pre-season. Who knows? Jose has a very good play style, even though it's quite defensive, but recently in pre-season he has been quite attacking. And Zlatan's goal, hands down, come on. You can't say he's not going to be a great striker this season. People want him to flop. I don't know why. Zlatan's a great player, maybe because he's very cocky, and he is very cocky, but let's just hope they can pay off. I don't necessarily want Man United to win the league. I want to win the league. I want my team to win the league, but I don't see us doing it. Man United, hats off to them if they do. I bet they're my team to win the Barclays Premier League. Thank you for watching the video. If you got a bit bored, I'm sorry about that. I'm not very good at this. I'm still trying to develop myself to being better at these videos, and it's all about trial and error. And this is me trialing it. If you enjoyed the video, just leave a like and a comment for suggestions and some feedback on what I need to improve on, since I'm never going to improve unless I get feedback and some comments and just some results on this video. I don't even know how long this video is going to go for, but I'm rambling on now. Thank you guys for watching, and see ya.